Hey, everybody. This is Nevin Gusak, your host of the Populist Patriot. And tonight I'm going to do a couple of live streams. I've been scanning the news, and there are a couple of items that I've been looking at for the past couple of days. CNBC News, in an article on June 16th, 2022, by Carmen Reinicki, titled Michigan Officially Becomes 14th State to Mandate Personal Finance Education Before High School Graduation. Well, that's good news. The Democratic governor, Gretchen Whitmer, signed State House Bill 5190, a bill mandating personal finance classes, and it previously passed the State's House of Representatives and the Senate. And for once, it actually had bipartisan support where many Democrats and Republicans can agree. And, Gretchen Whitmer issued some very positive statements on the bill. As a mom, I want every kid who graduates in Michigan to enter the world with a diverse set of skills and knowledge, and that must include financial literacy. I am proud to sign this bipartisan bill requiring all public school students to take a personal finance course. Every young Michigander deserves to know how to budget, save, and invest their money wisely so they get off to a great start after high school, whether they go to college, start working, or opening a small business. And this legislation requires that all high school students take a half-credit course in personal finance before they graduate. That course can count as a math, arts, language, or a language other than English requirement at the discretion of local school boards. And the bill will go into effect for students starting 8th grade in the 2023-2024 school year. And Michigan's House, passed the legislation in December 2021 with a 57-43 vote. It was supported by the Michigan Bankers Association, Michigan Credit Union League, and the Michigan Council for Economic Education. So, yeah, this is really, really good. And giving credit where credit due, my state of Florida passed it, and also the state of Georgia also passed it as well. And this is a good thing, in all honesty. I think personal finance is very important. I think our public school system needs to stress many of the life skills courses, and I wouldn't stop at personal finance. I would also take a look at shop and basic handyman work, open for both male and female students, and things of that nature, basic home economics, such as learning how to do basic cooking and other skill sets that kids may not have access to. Let's face it, there are parents that are constantly working all the time. They might not always have the time to spend with the kids to teach them about things like personal finance or shop or home economics or whatnot, which used to be years and years ago taught in the public schools. And I think one of the most important goals of our public education system nationally in a radical civic nationalist education program is to teach our youth how to become self-sufficient adults. I think that is very, very important. Things like ironing, things like doing laundry, balance and personal finance, things like the basics of a credit card and how to save money in the different types of accounts and investments that are out there, balancing a checkbook, and things of that nature. What is a money market? What is a conventional savings account? What are a 401k account? How does Social Security work when you start working, entering the workforce, perhaps in high school and working on the books? I mean, these are important things that really people need to know, and you can't realistically count on the parents to teach it because there are parents that are not familiar about this, or maybe they're not good at personal finance. Maybe they're not wise or frugal with their money, all kinds of things. So I think it's important to give our youth the solid education, the solid basis to learn how to become self-sufficient adults. and functioning citizens in a society, because knowledge is power. At the end of the day, the famous quote, knowledge is power, rings truer and truer every day, especially when I read and discuss news stories such as this. Um, so I would just go national and mandate nationally to all public school systems across the 50 states in the union. I would say that I would have personal finance classes. I would have home economics and shop classes that, go into how to fix basic things, operating tools, basic cooking, and other life skills that we need to learn. This way, again, we become self sufficient adults. To me, it's a no brainer. Now, of course, personal finance is not going to solve the larger issues of wage stagnation, wage suppression, the financialization of the economy, the outsourcing of jobs, and the importation of labor from abroad. Those are truly national policies that need to be addressed. And ultimately, those policies, once our trickle down economic, our neoliberal trickle down economic Reagan model is finally done away with, and it's one of my dreams, one of my political economic dreams is the evisceration of Reaganite principles from economic policy making. Once that happens, that'll make, I think, also average people's wages go up, which means will be less stress, meaning less use of credit cards, less use of other forms of loans and other related financial services. I would get rid of the payday loans, for example, and go back to postal banking. There's no need for payday loans in low income neighborhoods. Those are predatory. And I would go back to the postal banking, which President Lyndon Baines Johnson basically got rid of. And I would bring that back too in the low income communities. This way, instead of getting raped at your payday lenders, you can have postal banking, which means theoretically it'll be much cheaper services for low income people, which means they will have more disposable income rather than going to some predatory middleman at some predatory, payday loan servicer. So, anyways, big thumbs up for personal financial education. Go Michigan, go Florida, go Georgia. And we can only hope that other states will adopt personal finance as a important coursework in the high school curriculum. Thank you all for joining me. And we got a couple of more live streams coming up.